Hey everybody, I'm Richard, a little bit of everything. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm really excited about today's video. In today's video, we're gonna cook on the big green egg. I promised you pork belly burn-ins, that's what you're gonna get. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. It's good to see you all. Hey, so if you recall, back when I completed the Big Green Egg project, I said I was going to bring you all along for my first cook. Full disclosure here, when I finished the Big Green Egg project, and actually the table project that went with the Big Green Egg, I ended up being right in the third week of September. And that just happens to fall right into the football season for college football and high school football. I am an ex-football coach. I love football. Faith, family, football. Those are my three tenets. But anyway, so that being said, what happened was I really didn't have a lot of momentum when it come to cooking. I didn't really have a lot of opportunities because my wife and I travel a lot to go watch football games. We spend our weekends either doing that or something involved in football. I have a friend who's got a son who plays college ball, and I went to those games. My wife and I went down south to follow a couple college teams that we enjoy down there. Anyway, long story short, I didn't get the cook done and get my first cook in before it actually started getting a little cool out. So here I am, it's November. I am going to let you know though that I did cook on it. I cooked pizza on it about a month ago. We wanted to try it out one night. My wife brought home some pizza dough. It was kind of an impromptu thing. I didn't put cameras together and film it just because, we just wanted to test it out, see what it was like. And it went just fine. I think I have some pictures of the pizza. Anyway, so with that being said, we didn't film any of that. So unfortunately, I wasn't completely honest when I said I was going to take you along for the first cook, but it was one of those things where it just happened. And so anyway, with all that being said, in today's video, I am planning on cooking a pork belly. I don't know how much you know about pork belly or burn-ins, but there's one thing that everybody knows, and I bet you recognize that cut. That's bacon. Let me show you how I'm planning on preparing this pork belly. And just so that you know, this is actually half of the full pork belly that I bought. The one that I bought is twice the size. And I cut it in half. I have the other half in the freezer. I don't need to make that whole pork belly, so I'm just going to make this half today on this cook. But regardless of how you get your pork belly, I buy mine either from a meat dealer that I have here in town. You can get them at Costco. You can get them at Sam's. I think you can even get them at Walmart. But I like to try to get ones that are pretty square, or I will cut them off and square them. But let me show you how I'm going to cut this thing up and how I'm going to season it and what we're going to do to get this thing started and get it out on the egg. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this into about 1-inch cubes. So I'm just going to do a quick estimate here. Just cut that into a slice. Those into those strips. What you want to do is you want to now cube them. So that you have them in these 1-inch by 1-inch cubes. So I'd really like to introduce you to the sauces and rubs that I'm going to be using today. So the first one is this Honey Hog. This is a Meat Church product. I purchased this in bulk, which is why you see it in this big container. And as you can tell, it's almost empty because I use it a lot. Really love this. If you like Meat Church rubs, they're awesome rubs. The second one is an AP seasoning from Killer Hogs Killer Hogs, How to Barbecue Right. Malcolm Reed makes this. Great AP seasoning. AP stands for all-purpose. This has pepper, garlic, and salt in it. This third one here is a brand that I found. It's called SuckleBusters Texas Pecan Barbecue Rub. Really love that pecan rub. Enjoy it on ribs a lot, so it should taste good on this pork. And since I'm using pecan wood, that'll help as well. Let me start over here on the end. SuckleBusters also makes this original barbecue sauce. I'm going to try that on these. I've not tried it on ribs before, but we're going to give it a shot. They also make a finishing glaze, which I am going to be using at the toward the end of the cook. And last but not least, this Texas pepper jelly. This is a rib candy. It's apple and brown sugar habanero. It's got a pretty sweet note, but it also has a little bit of a kick on the end. Not much, but... So this first step, I've put all of the pork belly pieces in this aluminum pan. I kind of try to get them laid so there's nothing laying on top of one another. And then I'm just, the very first thing that I like to do is spray it. I've got some olive oil spray, and I'm just going to spray over these pieces. Try to get them coated with this olive oil. Turn them around. Spray the other side. Get them nice and coated. This is just a binder, just to kind of get something to get this all of this seasoning to stick to. So now that I've got that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the AP seasoning and I'm going to kind of give it a light coat. Nothing heavy. You can see the pepper in this. Let me get these flipped over. Let me get them hit again with this. Salt, pepper, garlic. So what we're doing here is we're creating layers of flavor. So the next thing I'm going to do then, after I've got that on there, is I'm going to come back with the Honey Hog. Now I have put this in a shaker that I bought on Amazon. I just put that whole, I buy that Honey Hog in bulk, and then I just put it in here. I love Honey Hog. This is from Meat Church, for those of you who don't know. And this is going to get a really heavy coat. Since that egg is round, I've decided that using the grate for it is the best possible solution. So I like to take a little bit of spray, olive oil on there, and I like to coat the grill grate, and then I just go ahead and put these pieces on the grill. Let me get these separated and get one more quick dusting. Yeah, those look awesome. Okay, while those sit and tack up, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the egg started. So let's go out there and get that taken care of. I'm going to be using this Rockwood lump charcoal. I really do like this. And I'm also going to be using some pecan wood chunks for this cook. That's plenty right there. So what I love about this kick ash basket is it really allows for a lot of airflow in here. Got some of these bigger chunks, which I really enjoy about this Rockwood charcoal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make a spot down here. And I have these tumbleweeds that I use. I'm going to put one right down there. I'm going to make another spot over here. Put another one. And then I have this nice little torch. Okay. So here we go. Just kind of cover these with a little bit of this lump. Make sure the airflow gets to it. And that should get this fire going here in about 15 minutes. So let me get the top down, get the vent cap off. Open up the bottom. Let that go for just about 15 minutes. One thing that I do want to stress with these ceramic cookers, if you're wanting to do low and slow, which is kind of what I'm wanting to do today, which is around, like I said, the 250 to 275 mark, you really need to keep an eye on this egg in the first 15 minutes, because you see I've got it wide open here and I've got it wide open at the bottom. What that means is it's getting a ton of airflow through this thing, and you know, you can see that the flame is burning hot. And that's going to get this thing up to temp really, really quick. So once it gets up to about 225, close to 250, I'm going to throttle everything back. What I mean by that is I'm going to put the vent on here and close it really tight. Not tight, but I'll show you when I do, and close the vent down there so that I can get it to stabilize at that temperature. Because if I let it open like this, it's going to get to 700, 800, 900 degrees. Well, maybe not 900, but you know what I mean. It's going to get way, way up there. So you can already see the temperature's moved almost 50 degrees since we've been standing here talking. So when it gets to the point where I'm going to throttle it back, I'll show you what I mean. Hey everyone. So listen, I had a faux pas on the video. I don't know what happened to the video that I shot when I was outside with the egg. I wanted to show you how I regulated the temperature. When we left the video, I had just gotten the fire started. What I did at that point was I spent the next 10 minutes or so kind of monitoring the temperature. And as it got up to about 240 degrees, I put the vent on and slid the little the vent door closed to about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. And then at the bottom vent, I slid that to about a full inch so that it was only open an inch. And at that point, I added some pecan wood. When you add wood to the fire, of course, it's going to give you a white billowy smoke. That's not when you want to add your food. You want to wait for that wood to get hot and start to combust. And once that happens, that white billowy smoke will then turn into a nice blue, thin smoke, which I'll show you on the video here in a second. But once I got that done, got the smoke taken care of, the temperatures kept kind of fluctuating, trying to get up, and I would have to adjust the vents. I didn't really adjust the vent at the bottom anymore. I made all of my adjustments at the top, but I finally got the temperature to regulate after about 30 minutes to about 260, right in that spot. So that's where the video is going to pick back up. I will make a full video on how I regulate temperature on the big green egg. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm just learning how to do it myself, so I'll show you how I do it, how I accomplished it on this one. But I'm sorry I lost the video on that. I wanted to show you all how I did that, but unfortunately the video got, I don't know what happened to it. So anyway, let's pick back up on the video where I finally got the temperature regulated and you can see the nice blue smoke we're looking for. So I don't know if you can see this or not. It's really hard to tell out here because the wind's blowing so hard. But there's a very fine, thin blue smoke coming out of that vent. I'm not sure how well it's showing on this video, but it's really, really fine. It's really, really blue. All the white smoke has disappeared. It's blowing a really thin, you can kind of see it against the background of that other little surprise I have for all of you. I know some people will wonder what that is. I'll be showing you that in another video. So before I put the pork belly on, I want to put this, I have this diverter with this drip tray in it. I'm going to real quickly put those in there. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and we're stabilized right about exactly where I want to be. So I'm going to go get these and put them on. The grill is hot. These things have tacked up really, really nice. Here, let me show you. So see, you can see how well they've tacked up. They're pretty well covered. You can kind of already see the mahogany color in them from the rub that's on them. So we're going to go ahead and get these out on the grill. Time to cook these bad boys. Let's go. The pork belly's on, so it's just a waiting game now. So we'll go out there and check it here in about an hour. We're looking for a specific color. Once it gets to this kind of almost burnt looking color, that's usually anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Once it gets to that point, then we've got some added things to do to it. So stay tuned. Let me show you that. So let's talk just a minute a little bit about the sauce that I'm going to be tossing these pork belly burnt ends in when they come off the cooker. So I've got in this container here, this is a cast iron little container that I have 4 tablespoons of raw honey, I have 4 tablespoons of butter, and a half cup of this SuckleBusters original barbecue sauce. And I'm going to heat this up and get that stuff you know, all liquidy and what have you. And when those pork belly burnt ends come off of the heat, I will be pouring those over them, and then we'll go to the next step. So these have been on now for about an hour and a half. Let's take a look at them. Look how beautiful those are. Those are just about the perfect color that I'm looking for. Now I already probed these and they're probing at the right temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and we're going to take these into the house and we're going to get them into some sauce. And let me show you what the next step is. Look how beautiful these look. Just grab one here. So you can kind of see the consistency, how that fat has begun to render off of those. They look very, very good, don't they? But I'm getting ready to make them better. I have, again, 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of honey, and a 3/4 cup of that barbecue sauce in here. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to pour that into here, all over this pork. All over these burnt ends. I want to make sure I get everything good and coated. So once I have this coated, let me just kind of get in here and roll these around in the sauce. Now the idea here isn't to make a big old huge pool of sauce in here. The idea is just have enough sauce to coat these, get all of the corners, all of the nooks and crannies coated. You don't want these basting in this sauce when it goes back out on the grill, because it's getting ready to go back on the grill. And the idea behind taking it back out on the grill is these are temped okay, but they are not yet butter soft, and we want these butter soft. Now I'm going to take this SuckleBusters Texas Pecan Barbecue Rub. If you remember right, I used pecan wood in here, so I want to accentuate that flavor with this rub. And I'm just going to pour this back over everything. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get some foil. And we're going to cover this with foil. Now that that's nice and covered, I'm going to take this back out to the egg, and I'm going to put it on there for another 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. What I'm really looking for here is probe tender, butter tender burnt ends. And so I actually have a couple more steps after I get these to that point, but I'm going to go put these back out on the grill right now. Okay, so we're back, and I just pulled these pork belly burnt ends off of the big green egg. I probed them, and the temperature was right at 201, 202. That's kind of where you want it, right in the 199 to 203 range. And they have a beautiful color. Look at how beautiful those look. So, yeah, they are just about exactly where I want them to be as far as temperature and color and all that. You can kind of see how they get the name burnt ends because they kind of get a charred into them. But believe me, that is all 100% flavor. So the next step is it's time to sauce them one more time, but this time I'm going to use 2 different sauces to do that. I'm going to use, again, the SuckleBusters brand. This is Honey Barbecue Glaze finishing sauce. I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup of this, and then I'm also going to use about a 1/4 cup of rib candy. This is Texas pepper jelly, apple, and brown sugar habanero. Okay, so once I have these back here in the pan, what I like to do to make sure that I get them fully coated in this next sauce is I like to take like a metal bowl like this, and I like to scoop these out. Once I have those in there, I get rid of this sauce. Just move these around inside here. Make sure I get them nice and mixed up. Man, these smell so good. Unbelievable smoke smell. Once I have them fully coated, I'm going to put them back into the pan. Spread them out once again. And then these are going to go right back out onto the big green egg for about 15 minutes. Hey everybody, we're back. I've just pulled these off of the grill, and I'm going to put them out here on the. I just want you to see how beautiful these look. Just take a look at these. They're just amazing. They're little nuggets. They're like candy. Look how juicy they are. They almost fall apart. So now I'm going to try one. Oh my gosh. I cannot even explain how good that is. You really get the smoke flavor off of the pecan. And that pecan rub just kind of adds an extra element to it. That habanero sauce on top of it is wonderful. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I gotta have one more. Anyway, so you really need to try these. These are just absolutely wonderful. Like I said, they're like meat candy. I'll leave a description down below with the recipe so that you can look at everything that I used. I'm happy to answer any questions. The description and everything, the temperatures and everything that I use and all the sauces and everything that I have in this recipe will be down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I've got several other ideas of things I'm going to cook. I appreciate you stopping by. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.